Good morning guys, I'm Chris the Ultimate Recycler. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel. Today we're at the shop. It's early Sunday morning. It's a bit drizzly this morning, a bit rainy, but not too cold. We're getting closer to winter. We're kind of late autumn at the moment. The seasons are changing, but weekends in this little town are still very busy. We're in country Victoria, Australia. I'll just pan around. My van's over there. I've just pulled up. I haven't opened the shop yet, so I thought I'd take you through the routine. We'd open up for today and have a walk around. We usually get here about 8:30 or 9 o'clock in the mornings. We only open Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sunday mornings are always a little bit quieter at this time. There's a few cars getting around. We've already walked Coco this morning. We got a little damp, but it's not too bad. And we're hoping for a busy day in the shop. Some days when it's rainy and rather miserable and people can't sit by the lake or go fishing or something, we actually have very busy days because people come in the shops. So anyway, I've got the keys in the door. Let's open up and I'll show you what it looks like. Oh, I think I've unlocked it. What it looks like before we open. So it is packed full. There's trolleys, there's all these tables that go out the front. You can't get down any of the aisles. And if someone rings up during the week when we're not around, or we happen to be in here doing some bookwork and they want to have a look, it is impossible to get around the shop. You can do a lap around the outside, but we've put a lot of stuff out during the days. And we've got a big veranda area, as you just saw, and that really does help pull the tourists over, makes the place look more interesting. We've got a lot of stock in here. Now, for those that haven't been following the channel or don't know much about this, I've been dealing for over 2 decades in secondhand stuff. We clean out deceased estates. We specialise in not specialising. So there's everything conceivable in here that you would perhaps find in an old house or a shed or something. So it adds a really good mix, a good variety. There's usually something to interest everybody. All right, better get to work. I'll turn some PowerPoints on, turn some lights on, and we will start opening up for the day. Okay, we'll wander through the back to get to the light switches, and this is where I have been working on cleaning up my storeroom. The property is on the market, as many of you regulars will know, and this is where I've been working. It's a bit dark to see in here at the moment, and we have to empty it because we're basically going to retire. And let's turn all these lights on. But we don't know when that's going to be. I've got a few clocks to deal with. There's a lot of junk in these store sheds, which I talk about in my regular videos where we're unboxing stuff. And this little area is a bit of a kitchen. It's a fairly rundown old building. There hasn't been much maintenance done for a long time, and that doesn't really faze us or the owners at the moment because it will be someone else's problem in the relatively short time. We don't know how long that will be. It could be 6 months, could be a couple of years. We're probably going to need closer to a couple of years to sort it out, because what you're looking at in here is the tip of the iceberg. We have lots in storage that we have to process while we still have a shop. All right, over this area in the little tech corner, I have some PowerPoints up here to turn on, which are a little hard to reach. There's one up here as well. That turns a few lamps and things on, provides power to some of these TVs that I have going at the moment. Well, I will have going. There's some Christmas lights flashing down there. I like to have a lot of things plugged in and being used. A lot of Christine's handmade stuff on the back wall. It looks fantastic, a lot of colour. Let's turn this TV on. And just yesterday I hooked up this old TAC CRT, and we have that playing through a set-top box, and it's great. You know, a lot of people, especially the younger generation, come in and look at this big clunky TV and say, what's the go with that? All right, that's got those things on. Whoops, there's more lights around here. Little cabinet in the bar section where I just have an LED lights on. So a bit of a routine to go around in the morning, turning things on so that everything's visible for when the customers come in. Okay, I think that's it for turning things on, except for some of the PowerPoints over at the counter area. And then we got the steady process of wheeling all these trolleys out the front. It can take us usually 20 minutes or so to open up and then to close. Christine will be here shortly. We are a bit earlier this morning. We often do it together and it doesn't take long. PowerPoint's on, printer on, turn our square machine on. And more power points around this side to power up all Christine's sewing machines and our laptop chargers. And we'll get the cash tin out. We never leave cash in the cash register, of course. Fortunate that in over 20 years I've never been broken into. I have had my car broken into numerous times, but not the shop. And I think the advantage we have with a second-hand shop like this is we don't advertise as antiques or jewellery or anything like that. We kind of want to make it look like a junk shop, like somewhere to fossick for collectibles, but not really anything worth stealing. Certainly nothing you could easily sell on the black market. Most of our stuff is, well under 100. Most of our stuff is $5 to $10, to be honest. We certainly have more valuable stuff in here every now and again, but the vast majority is low value. The other thing I've done in recent times in these little cabinets of bits of jewellery and things, I've taken all the gold and silver out. I don't like having anything that's gold or silver with the prices these days. I think it puts you in a risk situation where someone can come in, have a browse around, realise that the old building's pretty easy to get into, and come back and take all the gold and silver. So all of our jewellery and stuff in here is pretty much all costume jewellery, all low value. Nothing that anyone would, I think, risk breaking in the hope of actually making some money, because really it's hard push sometimes for us to sell it. I don't know how you'd go selling it at a discounted price to raise money for illegal activities or whatever. So yeah, if someone comes in and cases the joint, they're not going to see anything of huge value. And I think that has protected us a bit over the years. Okay, time to push some things out the front. All set up now, but the day has deteriorated. It's actually quite heavy rain, so we've had to put our trolleys back a bit. We normally have them between the veranda posts, which makes it a little bit squashy to get in amongst all the stuff. But you saw how much we put out, and I'll just give you a quick tour. We have a lot of $5 books here on this trolley, and we sell lots of books. I think tourists are always looking for a good novel to read when they're on holidays. A box of broken china for mosaics, some electrical parts. They're Cisco power injectors, and I'm not even sure what they're for, but I'm figuring whoever needs them will know. And they're brand new stock and only $5 each. There's only one bike left. I've marked that right down to $20. All the other bikes have gone. There's not many paintings left. In fact, there's only the 3 there. There's one up top. There's a few inside. and they're all been marked down to 10. So it's been a sliding scale of discounting from 80 to 100 for some of them, which was a quarter of their original price, and they're down to $10 each. So we've sold a few more of those. Hopefully they'll clear out soon. That's all that's left of my trophies that I found in my emergency storage shed. They've been selling quite well at $5 each. The box of model planes that came from the farm, they're $5 a lot. I did try 10 but didn't get any takers. We've been getting lots of books out here, and there's another basket there to move off that trolley, and they came from some of the farm boxes as well. Still quite a bit of electrical stuff here, vintage computer bits and pieces and cords. I'm not going to discount them at this stage, because when we finally close, whatever's left, I'll probably just chop the plugs off and send it for scrap wire. Although some of it might do okay at markets. Just some basic workshop stuff there. And those two posters I think I featured in a recent video, they came from, where did they come from? No, I didn't feature them. They came from a house deal I did ages ago, and they were stashed to one side at home, and I've just dragged them out and put them in stock here. Microwaves, well, I'm not taking any more e-waste, and I think I'll stop doing microwaves. I was quite enjoying learning how to repair them, but these two are here in really good condition, good working order, been tested, $30 each, and I haven't been able to sell them. So I just think they're not worth trying to fix. I know some things I do fix that aren't worth it, but microwaves are only so interesting, and after you've done a few, well, I think you've seen them all. I've been getting $10 per plate. Not often, but I do occasionally. And then there's a big transformer in them that's worth about $5 for scrap. There's other electric motors, and there's the magnets from the magnetron that I've been selling at $5 each as well. So I'm getting better value scrapping them than what I'm trying to get selling them at $30, considering the time to clean them all up and test them. And as far as repairs go, well, I think any I've kept aside at home for parts, I think I'll just scrap now. What have we got up here? Just a few more bits and pieces. There's some microwave plates there. Christine's got all her handmade shopping bags out the front, which sell consistently. They've been a great seller over the years. And a lot more books out the front. And bits of fabric and the scariest rabbit you've ever seen in your life next to a creepy doll. But a lot of these books are farm ones, and others from the back shelf in the shop where Christine's got all her bags. We're moving all these out at $5 each. And if they're out here for too long, they end up on the free book exchange, and that goes very well. In fact, the stock's right down on that. There's been a lot of stuff go from that recently. Still a few more bits of artwork here that are now down to $3 each or 2 for $5. I think a lot of these will maybe even end up free. And some more gardening books and things. These were some of the farm ones, and a few others that have come from in stock. So they've been selling quite well at $5 each. So we do put a lot out the front each day, but it's worth our while because it does help pull the traffic over. We like to have our shop look like you shouldn't drive past without a look. You know, it just kind of lures people in. A lot of people do look through the windows during the week when we're not open, and they come back on Friday or Saturday or Sunday to have a better look. All right, we'll have a browse inside. I'll just make sure all the radios are off. Okay, so we are open, ready for trade. You can see now with all the stuff out of the aisles, it's much more practical for people to look at things rather than being a mountain goat. So a lot of bottles in the front. I do sell lots of bottles. I've talked about that many a times. I've been a collector for most of my life. And there are some more boxes of bottles in the storeroom I'll have to go through. They've been selling quite well, actually. We usually sell like 2 or 3 or 4 to one person. Occasionally someone will just come in and buy one for their collection, but a lot of people are buying them just as decor items, or sometimes we sell milk bottles for people that want, nice decorative things on the wedding table, maybe vases or something. I'm not sure what they use them for. The old mangle is still here. I don't feel any need to discount this. I like it here. It may even end up at my daughter's restaurant as a display piece down the track, but if I get my $9.75, I'll take it. A recent video showed off these church pew ends. Well, they're in here at $50. Make a great project for someone. I've decided I don't need that project in my life. And this area is like the shed corner, the bloke's room, what do you call it? Just all shed stuff. Not necessarily blokes. I know I've been told off before for that. We have some woodworking tools. Quite a lot of them. There's some drill braces under there, welding rods, just bits of metal, wheels. That's an old sprayer. There's even an exhaust manifold from a Holden 6-cylinder under there. I don't exactly know what it suits. Random wheels. Rabbit traps always sell well. Sold a couple yesterday. I've got lots more manuals of all sorts of stuff. Some car manuals, some just automotive related things, agricultural machinery manuals. And people go, I sell a lot of these. People love looking through them, and I've got boxes and boxes and shelves and cupboards full of them out the back. So we'll get to that at some stage. Some more woodwork gear, just little nicks and knacks like a Zito cordless drill charger. I had that, that's a stop, a bench stop. I had that in a recent video, and a few of you guys were nice enough to identify it for me. So you'll see a lot of things in here like that light that featured in a recent video. And I do get subscribers come in for a browse in the shop locally and say, oh, I recognise all this stuff from your videos. There's some walkabout mags from a video ages ago. We have sold quite a few of those. This little cabinet in the corner. There's lots of little trinkets and knickknacks. There's a torch in the middle that I had in a recent video. This is where I put stuff that's likely to go in people's pockets, and sometimes it does, unfortunately. Well, it doesn't out of here because it's locked. So just some nice shed-related, automobile-related knickknacks. There's some fishing stuff as well, and lots more stuff here, including quite a lot of the new old stock Bakelite electrical fittings that we went through recently. You'll see a lot of those that you recognise. So the stock does turn over pretty quick. When you come and have a browse in the shop, it's usually stuff that's been put in relatively recently. There's also lots of jars of hardware, but I've sold so many of those. In fact, the shelves are getting really empty. So I just put anything in jars. Sometimes I segregate it, so that's vintage wood screws, and sometimes the rustier the better if someone's doing up old furniture. And then that's some rusty older hardware that I've put separate because it's good for old machinery. Micro switches from microwaves and things like that. General hardware, self-tappers, nuts and bolts, and that's the only one of those I've got left. So they sell very well at $5 each. Then there's assorted spanners, some saw sets, some more Bakelite electrical fittings, and general hardware. Some of this has been here for a while. I like to discount older stock to make room for all this new stock that I've been unpacking. There's some Kero pressure stoves, and these pigeonholes are great. Lots of little spanners and things in there, but I'm actually getting short on those, so I need to find another box of spanners. Not sure what I'll do with that cabinet when I finish up here. It's such a nice piece, but I don't think I'll have room in my shed for it. Probably have no trouble selling it. And a lot of these old cupboards are actually old school cupboards. I've got the doors for them put aside. I just took the doors off to use them as display cabinets, but I've kept the doors, and they will sell very well if I don't need them at home. There's the shell box from a recent video, and the other ones are up here that I mentioned. I have got 75 each on those, but they still have some colour in the logo and shell written on the side, so I think they're much better boxes. I might leave them at 75 now. Brass taps came out of a box just last episode, I think. Some handles off old cars, and that airless electric spray gun still there. Well, it's only been there a week. So as you can see, a lot of stuff it comes in and fills gaps because there's always gaps appearing. Customers keep buying stuff. In the kitchen section, it's actually thinned out quite a bit too. And again, you'll spot things you've seen in recent videos like the egg beater there, or the power whisk, is that what you call it? Lots of Pyrex cookware, depression glass, all kitchen related generally. Some nice old tins and some trays up the top. Lots of tins. Tins always sell well and they look good up around the tops of cabinets. What was up there? Oh, butter churns. And I've put the other one down there under that table. A couple of butter churns. Esky we had in an episode a while back. And there's lots of tin lids. We do sell those. And I've just added a whole heap of old milk bottles, which I went through just some the other day. I didn't film that. And there's more kitchen related stuff. Old tins, old yogurt jars. and more tins and trays at the top. So it makes for a nice display. And again, these are old school cupboards from early 1900s. Beautiful cupboards, I love them. They're great display, they're great storage. I might have to make room at home for them. I've still got the, as I said, I've still got the doors, I think, for all of them. Lots of plates on the plate rack in the middle. We put $100 in that plate rack. It's a nice old one. Been asked a few times whether I'll sell it, and I've always said no. But given that we're winding down, if I get 100 for it, I'll take it. Just general plates. Lots of, the comics are around here. I've been going through a lot of comics lately. There's the Mad magazines, and we do sell a lot of these, priced mainly between $5 and $15, mostly 1980s era, and they sell okay. And we went through a whole heap of Walt Disney comics a while back, and there's stacks here, and we have sold a few. They don't sell super quickly. Oh, there's Archie as well, Phantom comics too. And most of these are $5 or $10, I think. Occasionally I might have put 20 on an older one in really good condition. A lot of them are a little tatty. I've just made $5. And I've mentioned previously, if we end up with a lot of this in stock still when we close, we'll take them to the markets because they're easy to get quite a lot of value in a small area. Salt and pepper shakers, serviette rings, more plates. And then we head down this area, we've got more ashtrays and little tins. And then head into the tech section where we've got some computer monitors, the CRT oscilloscope that we featured recently, a nice old slide projector. And there's more monitors under here, and a surround sound system. And if we come around this side, back past these working TVs, there's lots more little tech bits and pieces. Assorted CDs at $1 each. A nice Onkyo CD player. And I think I tested this on video too. It's a little record player, it works fine. I don't think the lid's broken, the hinges just actually come apart. Not sure what's going on with that one. All these laptops I've sold, probably, I reckon I've sold about 8 to 10 of them all up at $5 each. No hard drives, no power supplies, but people are buying them for various reasons. I don't need to know why. Another CRT monitor. This section's the bar section, which is thinning out quite a lot. There's actually a lot of space appearing on shelves because we're not buying new stock, we're just unpacking what's in our sheds, and we don't always find glassware and bar-related items, so it will probably keep thinning out. And if it does, well, I guess we'll start selling the display cabinets and maybe putting other stuff on them. We might eventually lose our compartments and having an area for kitchen stuff and an area for bar stuff and an area for shed stuff and then a tech corner. We might end up, as our stock reduces, we might actually have to just kind of spread it out more, try and make it look interesting while we have less and less stock. Hopefully we don't actually have to take much away from here. It's going to be interesting as the shop winds up. But at this stage we're forging ahead as if we're going to be here for quite a while. The only thing is, in phase 1 of our wind down, we're not buying new stock, we're just trying to empty our store sheds. Alright, more books at the back. Some of these will probably make it to the front trolleys soon as Christine continues to take over the back wall with her bags. We didn't go down this side. I was going to do a fairly comprehensive walk around this morning because I haven't done one for a while. So more ornaments and glassware here. Lots of crystal. Crystal always looks good, and some depression glass. And then there's a little bit of leftover stock from when Christine had her quilting shop, plus a lot of jewellery on there, but again it's just cheap jewellery, $5 each. More of her handmade stuff. It's been selling very well lately. A little bit of office supply, things like old inkwells. We have a slide rule, drawing sets, pens, and then we'll come down the middle aisle. Lots more handmade stuff. She's been making so much. She's aiming for 2,000 this year. Here she is. Good morning, Christine.
Hello.
Are you on track for 2,000 items this year?
I kind of am.
Kind of? We'll take that as...
I'm working on it.
She's working on it. So that's going to keep adding lots of stock to the shop. And I guess as we make other cabinets, as we empty other cabinets, perhaps it'll be taken over by Christine's products. The soap has been selling really well, but we're not going to buy any more soap. So as that dwindles, that will allow more space for handmade products. Perhaps I should start taking more e-waste just to fill up shelves. No, she says. That's a nice vase with a tint of purple in it. So the glassware looks good in the middle of the room. And some display cabinets. We've got all our cabinets actually priced. Some of them we've priced fairly high because we like them and we don't want them to go straight away. This one's at $4.50. It's a beautiful old cabinet, probably 1930s, I think, that one. Most of my lamps have gone. There's hardly any lamps left. And if we browse up the top here, there's hardly any original paintings left. If you remember back, I had a whole lot of nice old original paintings. I've actually sold most of them at pretty good prices, so I was happy with that. I've added a couple of different prints and things that I found recently. We don't have a lot of hanging space for pictures and prints in this shop, which is a bit of a pain. So we still have a few to go through, but a lot of the good ones I found a while back have sold, which is nice. All right, where do we get up to? We'll go back down the middle aisle. There's pottery in this cabinet, a lot of Australian pottery, but that's thinned out a lot too. And all these cabinets down this aisle are all for sale, and they're all full of just nice decorative china. Yeah, a little bit of glassware. There's a depression glass green jug in there. It's probably a uranium glass one, that one. A little bit of glassware, but mostly china down here. Tea sets, trios, some nice decorative bowls, some tennis sets, and some tureens, part dinner sets again. Yeah, something like the crystal bowl in there we probably should bring out and put somewhere else. Crystal doesn't show up very well in some of these cabinets, whereas the crockery does. And whilst these look fairly full, we do keep moving things around. We sold a few trios just the other day, and a nice little blue and white jug I think sold yesterday. So it does sell. Back around to this side, there's some more crockery, a big tub of doilies. We did sell one cabinet from here, so our cabinet's already gone, and there's a couple more artwork items there. And this set of shelves was moved from somewhere else. We sold two cabinets from just here, did we, I think?
Yeah, that came from the other corner.
Yeah, that was in the other corner. And one of these, I think, one was a cabinet and one was
An open shelf.
open shelf, yeah. So we are starting to move some things. We don't want to sell them too quick. If we are here for a couple of years, we kind of do need shelves and display cabinets. Lots of little knickknacks here, little things in shelves that I just like to keep an eye on in case they go walkabout. And just little badges and assorted watches at $5 each. Most of them don't go. Some games. The cotton reels, I showed these on one of my episodes, and a few suggested $2 each was a fair price. I think I was going to put $10 in the lot, and we have sold quite a lot, so thank you for your suggestions there. Thimbles, lots of thimbles. I think Christine bought a collection of them. They're 3 each or 4 for 10. Mostly just souvenir type thimbles, but geez, there's a lot of them. Some more earrings, some prints in there, a bit more crystal in this cabinet, some nicer stuff here, some much older stuff. There's a Royal Dalton vase there for 120. These two glasses are Victorian. Oh, I've got William the 6th period. There you go, 1830 to 1840. So that's just pre-Victorian. That's a Victorian one there. And some nice older stuff in here as well. Stuart Crystal Bowl down there. Some belt buckles. More sort of shaving related stuff here. And badges. And various little knickknacks. I've made these cabinets from cutlery canteens. Oh, that's a bit hard to open with that mirror on top. And just by taking a top off and putting a piece of glass on the top, there's another one over here. They make great little display cabinets. And we will be taking them, if we do markets, they'll be great for market display. Same with this one, even though it's fairly large, it does provide an area to have a lot of stock safely displayed. Okay, I've got to turn this computer on. This is a computer that I got reformatted and it's for sale. It's a HP and it goes very well. And I've reformatted it, so we'll see how we go selling that. There's some rocks here from Mum's collection, and a lot of my cords that I'm still trying to sell. We do sell quite a lot of those, but whatever's left will probably be scrapped. And a lot of nice rock samples, mineral samples in here from Mum's collection that we are moving along fairly well. Mostly kind of $5 each, some of the better ones $10 each, and some of the more plainer ones in here are like $3 each or 2 for $5. All sorts. Okay, that's pretty well the extent of the shop area. We have records and things here and cassettes and some CDs, and people love browsing through the records. We haven't had any new stock in for a while, and we probably won't be getting any more now. There's still some nice titles in here, a lot of singles as well, but they'll probably be discounted eventually. I don't think we'll take them to the market. Records would be a bit of a problem trying to sell at a market. They warp in the sun, you don't want to get them wet, and some of them are fairly fragile when you're moving them as well, so we'll probably have to have a clearance on them. And there's a little medical cabinet here you may remember from a recent video, and that's sitting here. It's not very well displayed back in the corner here, but I did put $50 on that. A lot of stuff there not for sale, a lot of cardboard boxes that we use for packing and for putting customers' goods in. And I've still got a bit of scrap metal circuit boards and things stashed under this bench. So, that bench, I think I'll try and find room in my shed. It's a great big shop counter, open from both sides. That's something I may not sell. I think I'll take home. All right, there you go. That's a walk around the shop. I feel like I've talked for hours. You probably feel like I've talked for hours as well. There's lights hanging from the top. We will have to get rid of our ladders. Not sure what I'm going to do with them. We probably should hang a big price on them now. A big price both in terms of size and value, because I don't really want to get a ladder down just for like 20 bucks. I think we'd get 100 each for those. They're great big long timber. I think they're ex-SEC ladders. The other option is to cut them down into like 6-foot lengths, and they will sell quite well too, but we'll have to do something about that. All right, what are you up to?
Making some bags.
Making bags.
I finished all my alterations.
The bag lady extraordinaire. All right, I think it's time for coffee. There's a walk around. If you live local, come and have a look. There'll be more and more specials as we get closer to the deadline, which we still don't know when that will be. As I keep saying, we may have a couple of years, but we may not. So we'll just take one day at a time. All right, as the rain continues to tumble down, I better get to work. I've talked enough. Haven't been productive just talking to you guys. Hopefully we have a busy day. As I said earlier, sometimes a rainy day means a good trading day. So fingers crossed. I need a coffee. You guys probably need another one too. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.